Your name and where you calling from. Okay.
That was that bill collector. That was the guy trying to give you your Rolex.
Right. That's not who it was at all. You idiot. We're on the Sports Web live on NSPN. I love St. Pete. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek, 1252 Chicago Sports. He's calling in again. So
let me give it a shot for you.
Yes, go ahead. Welcome to the Sports Web.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Welcome to the Sports Web.
How's it going?
How are you doing? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Marcos calling from Miami.
Okay, Marcos, what do you have to say about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or do you want to talk about something else?
I was looking at something else.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
Thanks for calling the 1-900 number. My name is Harry. How are
you? Would you shut up and be quiet?
Shut up!
You're calling a sports talk show. You know that, right? So what do you want to talk about, Marcos?
I was looking to call out Peter.
This is Peter.
Marcos, Jake Paul's assistant.
Oh, are you serious?
Told you.
Wait, is this live right now?
This is live right now. This is crazy. This is crazy.
This is crazy.
Yes, it is.
Told you.
Wow. Okay,
Sorry.
so let's welcome to the evolution. I swear to God, we did not plan this, but of course the story was about the Rolex situation. Jake Paul, I interviewed him, asked him a question about Rolexes being given to fighters, and he said, "You know what? Do you want one?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." Not thinking he was going to do that. So
that's crazy. I just got your contact from Nikisa, Jake's manager.
Okay.
I wanted to follow up. So we have Rolex ready to go, and I was calling you to contact you what the best shipping address was. So whenever you get the chance,
I'll tell you what,
by,
Peter,
Curtis.
why don't you go ahead and take that? Make me full screen. Pull yourself up.
Welcome back to another edition of the evolution of Sports Talk Television, as this just seems like Groundhog Day, doesn't it, Bucs fans? I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Sorry about the lateness, but I was just trying to prepare my thoughts. Well, it's the same thing over and over again, isn't it? Not able to get off the field defensively. Why? Because your offense is not consistent enough to complete passes, get third downs. Third down conversions tonight. 4 for 13. Not going to get it done. 27-22 to Baltimore. But it wasn't even that close. Honestly. Late touchdown by Julio Jones. Great. Great. I know you want to go out to the phone lines here, but once again, I want to definitely talk about it and give you my thoughts. So stand by. I have Curtis on the line. Call back this 603 number. I think that's Dave. I know you want to talk about it, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are frustrated with this team. And it's not just on the defense. It is on the offense. It is on Tom Brady. It is on everything about this offense not doing a good job to keep the defense off the field. So, of course, the defense is going to be wore out. Which, by the way, we talked about that challenge where Baltimore could come in and run the ball. which they did for over 200 yards. And by the way, the Bucs lost Shaq Barrett, and it looks like it could be a serious injury. So I know you guys want to talk about it. Let's do it. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Curtis from Newport Richie. After the Bucs fall to 3-5, losing to the Baltimore Ravens, go.
I mean, what can I really say?
Well,
it was rough to watch. You know, even in the first quarter when we scored a touchdown, I'm like, okay, that's nothing to get excited about.
right.
Nothing at all.
Right.
The offense looked lethargic.
Yeah.
I remember the drive. Rashard White had a 20-yard catch and run. He had an 8-yard rush after that. Second and 2, throw the pass. 3rd and 2, throw a pass. Why didn't we just keep running the ball?
I don't know. You know, this team, they love to throw the ball down the field. I get it. I understand it. You got Tom Brady. You got Mike Evans. You got Godwin. Evans performed well tonight. He still had some drop passes that came back to haunt him. You still had critical penalties at critical times. By the way, how come this offensive line can't get a snap count right by now?
Nope. I mean, listen. I'm gonna tell you what I've been watching for the last 10 minutes. It was a sound bite by Mike Singletary. Can't coach with him. Can't play with him. Can't do anything with him. Listen, that's all I've been watching for the last 10 minutes, and I'm like, this is just ridiculousness.
Yep.
It literally is. I feel like we're going back to after Gruden won a Super Bowl. Like, it's going to be like another 20 years before we're even relevant again. Like, are you serious? This is how this feels.
Yeah.
It feels like there's no heart, there's no soul, there's no nothing. And then, we get down by 11 points. You guys want to go into a sense of urgency. Excuse me, that's bull.
Yeah.
You want to go into a sense of urgency when there's 7 minutes left in the game and you're down by 11 and you haven't done anything all in the second half. After you scored those 10 points, you did nothing.
Nothing.
Crap.
Nothing
At all.
First 2 drives of the game, great. After that, nothing. Nothing at all. And again, you know, I listened to Todd Bowles' press conference. Everything is on the table because now they got a break. So we'll see if there's going to be any changes at this juncture. We'll see if there's going to be changes. You know, you may have lost Shaq Barrett for a time. That's for sure. At the end of the day, that's a major loss.
I'm not going to lie to you, Peter. I wouldn't mind if Shaq Barrett. I mean, I wouldn't mind if Todd is gone. I'm sorry. Not even going to lie to you.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, I wouldn't mind if him and Leftwich were out of here because that offense looked like shit. Excuse my French.
No, that's all right. You can go ahead and say that here on this show. Tell you what, hold on, Curtis. Let me put you on hold. I'll come back to you in a moment. Craig, we got Curtis on the line. I know you want to talk about this. Let me finish up with Curtis, and then we'll get back to you. All right, my friend?
All right.
Stand by. All right, let me go back out to Curtis here. Finish up, Curtis, and then we'll cut you loose, and you can use that second call if you want to.
I just don't see anything. Julio Jones was a waste of time signing.
Well, at least he caught a touchdown tonight. At least he played into the game. I mean, that's a good thing.
He caught a touchdown when it didn't count.
Right.
He played in the game and didn't do anything that helped the team.
Yeah.
That touchdown meant nothing. The game was already over with.
Right.
They when Baltimore went up, and here's the thing about it, like, who are these guys that are out there whooping us? If you go back and you look at the last 3 weeks, can you name, other than Chase Claypool, who beat us in Pittsburgh?
I mean, you've got a guy by the name of Isaiah Likely who had 6 catches for 77 yards tonight, and you think that losing a Mark Andrews, but we've seen this. There's nothing to get excited about. You could be.
We lost to P.J. Walker
yes.
and DJ Moore last week.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I love Devin White. I love Levante David. Nothing all night.
Nothing.
And listen, I tell you what, I understand that those guys were out on the defense was on the field with what 40 minutes.
Check this time of possession out, and we got to get out to Craig here, Curtis. I love the call, as always. 38 minutes to 21. 38 minutes your defense is out there, and they're basically worn out and tired. And again, this is on not just your defense. This is on the offense with them being consistent. And once again, having trouble in the red zone, not able to put the ball in the end zone.
And the last thing I'm going to say is, why are we continuing to blitz on third down and we're not getting home? You're blitzing on third and long and you're not getting home. So why don't you just play coverage and at least give yourself a chance of getting off the field on third and long? Dude, that third and long defense is the worst I've seen ever.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It was terrible
shit.
Tonight. Missed tackles, missed assignments. I mean, again, it's just Groundhog Day. The same freaking thing we come on this show every freaking week with this losing streak, now at 3, which, by the way, Tom Brady is the most sacked quarterback in NFL history. And then on top of that, he hasn't had a losing streak like this in, I don't know, 20 freaking something years.
Since 2002.
Ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Curtis.
So what, we have a bye week next week?
I don't think it's a bye week, but you played on Thursday night, so you have a little extra time here. And then I believe they play the Rams.
They need. I don't even want to talk about it.
Right. I got it.
I don't even want to talk about it.
All right, Kurt. I appreciate you, buddy. Definitely use that second call if you want to. I guess I'm going to give you the Ric Flair. I'm not going to give you the Byron Leftwich. All right.
I definitely don't want the Byron Leftwich.
I may have to change that. You know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. He is saying, how about those Bucs?
How about them Bucs, baby?
But it was a great call. All right, let me get out to Craig here. Appreciate you, Curtis. Use that second call. All right, let's get out to Craig here. Craig, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to the Baltimore Ravens 27-22. Your thoughts?
Oh, boy. My thoughts. Here's the problem. This was the entire game was in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And it goes on to this drive. 1st and 10 at your own 45. You have a chance. You're up 10-3. You bring in Josh Wells to tackle eligible. You don't take a kill shot. 2nd down, you run it again.
Mm-hmm.
3rd down, you throw it to Chris barely over the sticks.
Yep.
I mean, your defense gave you the ball in the prime position at that point. They got you the red zone stop early on that goof of the special teams as well, too. And you don't take one shot down the field on that drive. You go up 2 scores at that point. Baltimore, with the injuries they had in that quarter, they may get a little disinterested at that point on a Thursday night game, getting down 2 scores.
Yeah. We were talking about this during the halftime show. If you get up 17-3, you come out with a quick touchdown, which the Bucs can't. Offensively, they can't. They're not consistent enough. They can't get out of their own way. And this is on Tom Brady. And I'm tired of sitting here saying it's the line, it's the wide receivers, it's Tom Brady too. It's Tom Brady. He's off. This offense is off. He's led by it. He leads this offense, and right now, this offense is just what did Todd Bowles say? That we're in dark times. It's pitch black, and Vin Diesel is nowhere near to help out.
Listen, I don't disagree that Tom's off, but you got to play with a little bit of aggression from a coaching staff. And I also think, too, you don't realize how much they miss BA from a game planning perspective that I think it covered for Byron a little bit.
Yep.
In his job the last few years. Just as much as the OC for KC can't get hired anywhere.
Yep.
Because I think Andy does more of the game planning anyway. You know, he's the one in charge of red zone as well, too. That's maybe why he can't get hired. I think maybe that's why he didn't get hired this offseason, because I think BA covered for him a little more than you think, because that's the one piece that's missing right now. I know the middle of the line's a little banged up, but the one key piece pulling the trigger was still BA.
Yep.
And you're missing that too. And I don't understand the game planning. And there's no adjustments at halftime. That third quarter drive, we all knew what was coming.
Of course.
Run, pass.
Of course.
And it was it. And that was it. And you have to give your defense a break.
Yes, and if you don't,
at some point give him a break.
Craig, if you don't, then that defense is basically wore out. And I get it. You know, the challenge coming in at the end of the day was Lamar Jackson. I thought they did a pretty good job with keeping him contained, but it was the other running backs that basically killed you. I mean, Gus Edwards, 11 for 65. Kenyon Drake, 7 for 62. Lamar Jackson, 9 for 43. Devin Duvernay, 2 for 33. And of course, Jackson does his thing in the second half with 3 touchdowns. And we talked about this on the halftime show. You have to play 60 minutes of football, not a first quarter, not 2 quarters, not 3 quarters, 4 quarters of football. And this team still has not figured out how to do it yet.
Yeah, and there's 2 guys in that defense tonight who are absolutely horrendous. Devin White, you wear a C. That was pitiful.
Yep.
Another guy was bad. Mike Edwards, I don't know what he was guarding there on the backside sometimes, but he was guarding nothing but air. There was no – I don't know what position he was playing out there, but it wasn't anything. And here's the other thing too. You saw an OC tonight go after our rookie corner every single chance he got.
Yeah.
What did we do when we had all those corners beat up with Pittsburgh?
Run the ball.
Last week, we didn't do it against Carolina when their best defender in the secondary was out too. There is just, at some point, if all of us sitting on our couch could tell you the next play that's happening, all the DCs around the league know the same thing too. Something's got to change. You got Clyde there. Let him make the calls. He ran that offense before. I'm not saying that's the answer, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. Something's got to change. You got a mini bye week. You know, the season's on the line. If not, it might have just slipped away. But something's got to change. And then with Shaq potentially with the Achilles, I mean, it went from bad to worse real fast.
Yeah, it went bad to worse, and you have the Tuesday trading deadline, and we'll monitor that situation and see what the Bucs can do and what they're going to do, if they can do anything at this point, because of course, we have the cap constraints, but you may have to give up the future because you may not have a Shaq Barrett, or you may have to run with what you got. And right now, what you got is a defensive line that is, again, a shell of themselves, not able to stop the running game. Maybe that's not fair because they've been on the field all night long. And you got an offense that is not able to score consistently when they're in the red zone, and they continue to shoot themselves in the foot with stupid penalties. Donovan Smith, Robert Hansey, I don't understand it. You have to explain it to me. What else, Craig?
And the last thing is, week 1 against Dallas, the red zone play was the Mike Evans fade. It's almost unguardable. Have we seen the play since then?
No, we haven't seen the play, and I don't know if Tom Brady has enough confidence in this line to block consistently. I thought Nick Leverett played a lot better than Luke Gedeke did. Of course, Gedeke with an injury, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I just don't think he has the confidence. We saw it tonight. And Dave, I know you're calling in, so just call back. I thought Chris Godwin was open right before halftime, and he did not hit him, didn't see him. Pressure got to him, went down with the sack. So it's so many factors. It's not just one thing. You can sit here and bang on the offensive line. You can bang on the defensive line. You can bang on the linebackers in the back end and Tom Brady, but there's so many components to it. Right now, this team is a mess, and they are definitely in a black hole.
Yeah, and last thing, did we all know on the 2-point conversion, once the penalty happened, we all knew the run was coming, right?
Yep.
We all knew it from the shotgun.
Yep, run's coming.
It was so obvious, and it's just getting to the point, like, if it's just this obvious, then you got to make a change.
Yeah.
You know what? And sometimes change, for the sake of change, may fix something, maybe it won't. But I don't know. This mini bye week, you got to do something different. But keep up the great work, man. Love your work.
Hey, man, appreciate you, Craig. Thanks a lot for the call. I guess I'll give you the Ric Flair here because I can't give you the Byron Leftwich right now, although I like that sound effect. Anyway, I'll just do it anyway.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Use that second call, all right, my friend? Appreciate it, okay? All right, good stuff. Let's go out to the phone lines here. Welcome to the Evolution. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Dave Warner live from Raymond James.
Yes, and how was your time tonight besides the result? Did you at least have a good time?
I had a good time. You didn't see me on TV?
I did not see you on TV, my friend. You were on TV?
Did you see the Michael Myers guy?
Was that you?
That was me.
That's you? Okay. All right. Very cool. Michael Myers tonight. Well, the Bucs didn't kill it. In fact, they got killed by the Baltimore Ravens. Give me your thoughts about this loss.
Well, I was just thinking as I was listening to your show, what happened to the first quarter, Bucs, man? We should have played like that the whole fucking game.
Well, I mean, and then to shoot the French here, I know you're emotional, so just don't try to throw so many F-bombs here, but I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Get off to a good start. You finally get a touchdown, which is nice, and then after that, you basically called it a night. And I just don't understand this team, the urgency of this team. And again, I always go back to this, and maybe I'm wrong, but it is a direct reflection of leadership.
Yeah.
And it's not there right now for some reason. And I think that's coaching. I'm sorry. I think it's coaching. I think it also boils down to Tom Brady and this offense not playing well. And you're not able to consistently sustain drives. That's why your defense is out there for the long period of time. And you can't leave your defense out there. 38 minutes tonight of time possession by the Baltimore Ravens. Inexcusable.
They definitely got tired at the end, but I think we played freaking awesome in the first half.
Right.
It was the freaking second half what happened. I mean.
Yep. Just didn't make the adjustments and got beat by a better team at the end of the day. And you're shooting yourself in the foot with penalties at critical times, not able to score in the red zone until at the end where basically it's pointless. You're settling for field goals. I mean, the list goes on and on and on with this team. It's not just one thing.
And then even if the defense would have stopped that one freaking big run at the freaking end and they didn't score any points, we had a chance to freaking at least tie and go into overtime.
Gassed. No chance. No chance at all. You're without Shaq Barrett. And once again, that defense has been on the field all night long. No chance at all. Disappointing. What else, Dave?
Yeah. I don't got really too much to say after that. But yeah, I mean, I had a good time, which was good, but met a lot of nice people, took a lot of pictures, of course. Everybody wanted to take a picture with Michael Myers, but other than that, it kind of sucked as far as the game. That's for sure. The first half was awesome. The second half freaking sucked.
Yep, I agree. All right, good stuff, man. Let me go ahead and give you the Ric Flair. Woo! I'll go ahead and fire those cannons. Use that second call if you want to, my friend, all right?
All right, buddy.
Appreciate you. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 as the Bucs fall to the Baltimore Ravens. It's nice to be up late. We don't have a curfew here. So if you want to vent. If you're upset about the Bucs like I am, call in on the phone lines. No time limit. Although I do have a sundae and the freezer there waiting for me. It's a good thing. You live right down the street from McDonald's. Probably a great night that got ruined by a terrible Bucs second half effort. All right, let's go out to Alex. Alex, welcome to the Evolution as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to 3-5. Your thoughts?
And here we are 24 hours later, discussing a loss.
Yep.
I'll tell you one thing, Pete. I was at that game. I was sitting on the end zone. Besides the result of the game, I actually had an awesome time with my buddy.
Good.
Let me tell you something, man. What I saw. I talked to you guys about this yesterday.
Sure. It's like Groundhog Day. I came in with the monologue, and again, I was a little bit late tonight, but I was just trying to gather my thoughts on how it could be different. And basically, there's nothing different. The Bucs have done nothing different.
I will tell you this, though. What I saw tonight, okay? What I saw tonight is the most undisciplined team I've ever seen in my time of watching this team.
Really?
You are literally you're literally third on the 3rd-yard line, 1st and goal, and we get absolutely an absolutely unnecessary, uncalled for penalty on 1st and goal, and you can't score.
Yep.
The 10-yard line, the 4th quarter, can't score.
Yep.
What are we doing? The play calling is so predictable.
One step forward, 2 steps back. You got 3rd and goal. You get a penalty, then you get down to the 4th down. You're going for it, and for some reason, the line is not able. And this sounds familiar. This sounds like the Green Bay game.
You can sit there, but listen, Pete, I'm going to disagree with you. Do I think we have some top-tier offensive line? No. But Tom, I told you, and Harry this yesterday. Tom just looks off. His throws are god awful.
Yep.
They're so off. He had a wide open Kyle Rudolph.
Yep.
In
Missed
the
him.
third quarter, and
Missed
just
him.
absolutely just blew it.
Yep. Missed him. And
Mike Evans dropping that one pass.
Yeah,
And
it's
the same thing. Not only that, it's the same predictable offensive calling.
Yep.
Go to the defense. You had one job. All you had to do was stop the run game.
Right.
Stop the run game. That's pretty much if you would.
What they did in the first half. They did a pretty good job of.
All they did was run the ball.
Right. That second half, because the offense could not keep the defense off the field. And I'll give credit to where credit is due. We knew that the Ravens coming in were going to run the ball. That's what you know. You know Lamar Jackson's not going to pass the ball all over the place. What you know is you're going to have read option. You're going to have multiple looks. You're going to try to run the ball. And at the end of the day, if your defense is not able to get off the field, especially on third down, because your offense is not sustaining drives, it's going to wear your defense out. And go back to this key statistics. 38 minutes of time of position for the Baltimore Ravens. That's ridiculous.
But Pete, fair enough on the time of possession. But it's just like the defense seemed like all they were doing was playing man coverage. We were blowing third and longs, and it just seemed like we were playing tight man-to-man coverage on the third. What's he going to do? Lamar Jackson's going to go run for the first, so he's just going to hand the ball off and run wide open for 20-plus yards. It's so predictable.
Yep.
The offense is so predictable. Long story short, we got to have a change, man. I told you guys this yesterday. I know one person agreed and one didn't agree. I didn't think you agree with me. I knew Todd Bowles was not the man from the job. Apparently, people didn't watch what he did with the Jets. Apparently, people didn't learn. That's just not the man for the job, man. He looks so lost. What I saw tonight, I haven't been to a Bucs game in a while, but what I saw tonight was the most undisciplined team I have ever seen in a very, very long time. It's so disappointed because the roster that we have is just so elite stuff. It's so elite.
It is. Good stuff, Alex. I tell you what, we're run, man. We got to go out to the phone lines. I'll fire the cannons for you. Use that second call, my friend. Hang in there, all right? All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to the Baltimore Ravens 27-22 to go to 3-5. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how you doing, Peter? It's me. It's David.
David who?
Kushner.
Oh, hey, what's up, David? How you doing? Your thoughts on this game tonight, buddy?
Oh my gosh, that was one of the most boring games I've ever been to.
Well, the first half was pretty good, right? The first quarter, at least.
Yeah, at first. But the thing is the whole problem with the team right now is it's play calling and the offensive line.
Yep.
It's just awful. I mean, Brady's not getting any protection. He was getting hit a lot today.
Yep. Justin Houston
he also missed some throws that he he normally makes. But I mean, I can't even really fault him for having some of these missed throws because he has no protection.
Well,
no protection.
He doesn't have consistent protection, but at the end of the day, you still have to make some of these throws. 26 or 44, 325, one touchdown, no interceptions. But like you talked about, he did miss some key throws tonight.
Yeah, there was on two different drives.
Yep.
I remember in the first half we had it was an easy touchdown. Like he normally makes those throws.
Yep.
There's two separate drives. I blame it's not getting a touchdown because he didn't hit the throw.
Well, what is that? Is that timing? Is that missing training camp? Is that going to weddings? I don't know. We've harped on this over and over again, but there's something is off about this team. The timing is not there. How do you explain it? How do you explain the Mike Evans play later on in the fourth quarter where it nearly gets picked off and they're having problems with communication? That's Mike Evans. You've been together for the last couple years. Something is not right about this team.
Especially because he had freaking connection with him his first 2 years.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense why their connection's off right now.
Right. It makes no sense. And then
regardless,
yeah. Go ahead.
Regardless, it doesn't make sense to me, bro, because there's way too much talent on this team for them to be playing as shitty as they are. Excuse my language.
Well, no, that's okay. You can go ahead and say that because, we say 3 things on this show. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. So you can say the S word. It's okay. I know a lot of people out there are emotional about this team, and they should be because you're coming off a 13-win team last year. You have high expectations. A Super Bowl the year before, unfinished business.
Honestly, I have no doubt in my mind that we would have won it all last year if it wouldn't have been for injuries.
Well,
if we wouldn't have hit with those injuries, I really think that we would have went back to back.
I agree because you lose Tristan Wirfs and you lose Antonio Brown, who basically quits because he's a scumbag. And that's another show, but that's how I feel about it. And at the end of the day, you're basically lose Chris Godwin and you're down to these receivers. And I guess, you take out of it, Chris Godwin is at least getting back to maybe 100%, hopefully.
He's looking like it.
Right?
After today he was faster. He was faster today.
Right. And then you got Julio Jones. So we'll see how that works out. I still contend that Julio Jones may not necessarily be the answer this year. I know they want to save him and preserve him, but
it just sucks because I really thought that he was going to be a good replacement for Antonio Brown.
I did too.
But I don't know.
It's been disappointing this year, especially in free agency with this team. I mean, Russell Gage has been hurt most of the year. Julio Jones has been hurt. Akeem Hicks missed his 6th straight game, which is not helping your run defense out. And now you've got injury.
Run defense was better when he was in there. I mean, he's not great at stopping the run, but I mean, I've seen a big drop off ever since he's been out.
Well, it's big time drop off, and then on top of it, when your defense is on the field for 38 minutes tonight, David, and a lot of people will put the blame on the defense, and I get that, but when your offense is not able to sustain consecutive drives and be consistent,
that's what I tell people.
You got to look at it that way, and the offense has to take the blame. And Todd Bowles said in his press conference, we're going to take it. It is our record. That's what our record shows at this point. We got to look at some things, and anything is on the table with changes. So we'll see what this Buccaneer organization has in store as they have somewhat of a mini bye week to get ready for their next game. But it's not good right now.
Rams. Yeah, they're playing the Rams next week. The Rams have no O-line.
Right, so they have no O-line, but we've seen this before, right, David? I mean, we talked about it tonight. No Mark Andrews, you should have an advantage. And then a rookie goes off, or another guy goes off, or you're not able to stop the run. I mean, we had all these things work into the Bucs' favor, you feel like, right? The Steelers have injuries, not able to beat them. You lose to them, surprising fashion. You lose to the Carolina Panthers, to a third-string quarterback. All these things supposedly going into the Bucs' favor, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many injuries you have on a team. You still have to play 60 minutes of football. And we have not seen this team be able to do that. And I think that's probably the most disappointing aspect of this team this year.
It is. I agree with you. It just sucks because, I mean, I just didn't – they have so much – they have way too much talent. They should not be playing this bad.
Agree.
The talent that's on the team, we should be top team in the league.
Agree.
I mean, our O-line is definitely not playing good, but they played better today than they have all season.
Yep. They played better, and I think, they're going to look at it and see what the injury is about with Luke Gedeke, how long that's going to be. But I thought Nick Lever played well tonight.
Lever's way better than Luke Gedeke.
I agree.
Luke Gedeke has been playing awful since he's been here.
Well, he's a rookie, and he's he's transitioning over to the National Football League, and it doesn't always go like it goes with Ali Marpet. A lot of people felt like, well, he
or Tristan Wirfs.
Right.
Yeah, most defensive linemen, it takes time for them to really start gelling.
It absolutely does, and a lot of changes to this offensive line
this year. He's been really bad, though.
Yeah.
Rookie or not, he's been really bad.
He's been really bad, and that's the reason why I think Tom Brady's play has dropped off, and I think that's the reason why this offense, scoring, the scoring has basically dropped off the last couple of weeks. So it's disappointing.
I mean, if our offense performs better, we win. I mean, when people are complaining about our defense, and I get it. Our defense has not been playing well, but they've been playing well enough to win.
Well, it works.
You're not going to win.
It works hand in hand. If your offense is 3 and out, punt, then your defense has to stay on the field. And then eventually, that if you give these opportunities to the Baltimore Ravens, who are going to come in there and punch you in the mouth. They may have not been able to do in the first half, but they're going to do in the second half. And if you're not up for the challenge, you're basically going to get ran over. And that's exactly what happened to the defense tonight.
Uh-huh. And Devin White had probably his worst game that I've ever seen him play. I mean, honestly,
yeah,
I would say if I was them, obviously they're probably not going to do it, but I would just switch freaking Devin White to the outside, and next year they need to draft another linebacker, one that can cover and is better in tackling. Like, I think he's better. She really should just be an outside linebacker and just rush the passer.
Not able to shed blocks. You saw that a lot tonight. You saw the offensive line of the Ravens getting to the second level, and when those linebackers are not able to come off and you're not getting that penetration, if you will, from those big hosses up front on that defensive line, there's trouble, and that's what happened tonight once again with the Ravens. Anything else, David?
No, nothing really. I mean, I just hope that they're able to turn it around. I mean, I don't know, dude. The way it's looking, I don't even think we're going to make the playoffs, my friend.
Well, I tell you right now, you're gonna be in a weak division. You have the Falcons. You may. The way this team is playing, maybe you get 8-9 wins. You're in the playoffs, and who knows, maybe you can scare some people. I mean, you've been kind of reminded tonight by the announcers on this Thursday night football game. The Washington football team got in with a 7-10 or 7-9 record, and they scared the Bucs in that first round. And of course, they were a first-round exit. So who knows? Maybe the Bucs can do something along the lines. But right now, they are not a good team. They make too many mental mistakes. They make too many critical penalties at critical times that hurt this team.
And that's on coaching.
And that's on coaching. That's on coaching. And people can sit here and say, it's on the players and execution. But again, direct reflection is the leadership of this team. And right now, this team has no urgency, in my opinion. Good stuff.
I wish Bruce Arians is back. Honestly, I wish he wouldn't have left.
Well, we'll see. I know there's a lot of fans out there that wanted BA gone, and we're happy that he retired. And I think now you guys got what you wanted. You made your bed. Now you have to sleep in it. We'll have to see if BA is going to come back. Good stuff, my friend. Let me go ahead and give you the Ric Flair. Woo! Let me go ahead and fire those cannons and use that second call, David, if you want to. All right, my friend?
You have a good day.
Yep. Good night, man. And that's what a lot of Bucs fans feel right now. Going out to the game, spending their hard-earned money. I get it. It's an experience. But that was not fun tonight. And that's why I didn't feel good coming into this game. Because the Ravens are a physically opposing team. They have an identity. The Bucs do not. I don't know what this team is. Actually, I do know what this team is. Offensively, they go 3 and out. They have some urgency in the first quarter, which was new because they finally scored a touchdown. That was a positive with Leonard Fournette doing the honors early. Seems like a lifetime ago. And then after that, they basically, packed it up for the night. Had some lunch, smoked a cigar or cigarette, and said, yep, that's about it. No adjustments in the second half. And they got their doors blown off by the Baltimore Ravens, 27-22. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The Baltimore Ravens have an identity. They're going to punch you in the mouth. They're going to run the ball. You have to stop them. If you can contain Lamar Jackson like you did in the first half, you have a chance to win. If you don't, and you don't stop the running game, and you don't stop them on third down, this is what you get. Let's go out to the phone, go out to the texting line here. David says, who looks good to you in the draft next year? I don't want to talk about the draft. Not yet, but I guess we're getting there, aren't we? Javon says the Glazers step in, fired Lovie Smith back in 2014. Who's to say they won't step in again? Yeah, not during the season, though. I mean, could there be some changes to the offensive play calling? Maybe. Could there be some changes to the defense? Possibly. You're already down Shaq Barrett. We'll check on that injury, but that didn't look good tonight. And I thought your defensive line did a pretty good job in that first half getting after Lamar Jackson. You saw a lot from JTS. You saw a lot from Shaq Barrett. You had Vita Vea with the sack, but not nearly enough. They're not getting after the passers nearly enough. Good stuff, Javon. Reginald says this is a mini bye week. Changes are coming. Hopefully. Javon says on the upside, Nick Leverett should start the rest of the season. Agree. Dave says Barrett has a possible torn Achilles. That stinks. That stinks for him. Because that's a big time loss. And now you're going to have to replace him with what? Carl Nassib, Anthony Nelson. Guys are going to have to step up. Maybe the Bucs go into the trading deadline. At the end of the day, teams are not giving up pass rushers. Pass rushers are not growing on trees. They're not. So the Bucs have some problems. Already being 3-5. Sandra Nagel watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web. She was out there tonight. Pretty excited to watch the game with your mother and your sister when it's going good. But then that second half, there's nothing you can do. I mean, again, going back to the statistic, 38 minutes of time of possession for the Baltimore Ravens. You're not going to win games. I don't care how many times you throw the ball. If your defense can't get off the field and the team has the ball that long, your defense is wore out. And they were gassed at the end of the game. So, sorry the game or the experience was ruined, Mom. But, you know, that's Buccaneer football this year. It really is. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. At least the food was good, right? Beef O'Brady's over there on Himes. Definitely join us again when we'll be out there for the evolution. It's now a fact that BA was the main factor for the stat. Bowles is just not the answer. I don't think he's the answer either. What are you going to do? What kind of changes are going to be made? We'll see here in the next couple days. We'll get you the update when it happens. I got a feeling there could be some changes. But there's so many things wrong with this team right now. So many. It's disappointing. Injuries are one of them. You came into the game with no Carlton Davis. I thought Zion McCollum played okay at times. He can't tackle. How many blown tackles tonight Zion McCollum missed? And how many tackles overall defensively did this defense miss? And I know we talked about how long they've been on the field. You got to tackle. It's just fundamental things that the Bucs are failing at right now. And you can't fail at those things if you want to be a championship contending team. You can't. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Dave again. Cup will feast on this D next Sunday. He's always feasted on this D. No matter if the D has been good or not, they have not been able to shut down Cooper Kupp. The rest of the NFL has not been able to shut down Cooper Kupp for some reason. So, I mean, it's very simple. That offensive line is not good for the Rams. In fact, I don't know what's worse of an offensive line, the Bucs or the Rams. But you're going to be without Shaq Barrett. So, guys, most likely you're going to be without. I'm not a doctor, don't play one on TV, didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So, I don't know what the extent of that injury is. But more than likely, he's going to miss some time. Guys got to step up. You're going to have an opportunity. Get after Matt Stafford. If you let Stafford sit back there and have a picnic, he'll pick you apart. He'll eat your lunch. 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. All right, let's go out to Richard here. We all know and see that we took Bruce Arians for granted. I think that's a good comment. Let me fire the cannons for that. In fact, I'll give you the Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
All right, I hate that the next game is a get-right game for the LA Lambs. Well, that's going to be a tough game. And if you don't play 4 quarters again, you're going to lose. And if you continue to have critical penalties in the red zone, you're going to lose. Somebody has to explain to me, how do you miss a snap count? How do you pick up holding Donovan Smith, number 76? I get it. You're trying to keep the pass rusher off of Tom Brady, but it takes off a touchdown with Cade Otton. Cade Otton looks like he's going to have his first career NFL touchdown. Nope, holding. Then you march back, you make a play, you go for it on 4th down. Guess what? Penalty. Sounds familiar. It's happened all year long. Coaching, execution, whatever. It continues to happen over and over and over again. Like a broken freaking record. All right, how big was Sue now? Well, pretty big. Seeing as, I don't know, Hakeem Hicks has basically missed the majority of the year. But we knew coming in that there was question marks about Hicks, question marks about Julio Jones. I mean, the whole team is a freaking question mark when it comes to medical. I mean, if there's anything at all, I wish it was a video game so everybody could get healthy at the same time, you know? A 1-up or something. But everybody right now on this team is basically beaten up, and they're at critical positions, if you will. Disappointing. So, yes, Sue was big on this team, not only because of the leadership, but also because he was available. Good stuff, Dave. At least with Leverett, plays were not being blown up from the start. Yeah, that's good. I agree with that. I'll give you the woo on that. Woo! All right, let's go out to David here. Brady says that all they need to do is get on the same page. Well, how about practice more than one day a week? You can get on the same page with your wide receivers one day of practice, and I'll walk through isn't cutting it no more. It's not. You know, we thought it was silly with missing the time, but it really isn't now, is it? Again, I don't know what the man is going through personally, but he's not playing necessarily like Tom Brady, is he? And we could sit back here and say it's the offensive line all day long. But at a certain point, you have to be accountable for your actions, right? This team isn't accountable. There's always somebody pointing a finger at somebody else, it seems like. We do that on this show. It's a total team collapse at this juncture. Your offense is not able to sustain drives consistently. You get 3 and outs. Your defense gets on the field. They get worn out. They're not able to get off the field. And then your offense basically has to come back. No urgency at all. No adjustments. Penalties at critical times. At least you don't have interceptions, I guess. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. So, yeah, it's not cutting it. It has to get better. I don't understand this. You have to explain this to me, how the timing between your number one wide receiver and your quarterback is not there in week 7. Somebody explain that to me. Disappointing. All right, let's go out to Art. The Bucs are a total train wreck and may not win 10 games. Certainly possible, that's for sure. All right, Sean says, wasn't that line, it was Fournette. And Wheezy says this team is mostly done. Stick a fork in them. I'm over the season. Don't care how many games we have left. Tom needs to go. Call it what it is. Old. It's over, folks. Some people feel like that. I don't blame you. I looked at the game and I got basically suckered into, well, you know, it's a good feel-good story. The Bucs can win this game, knowing that more than anything else, the Bucs were probably going to lose this game because they've shown nothing that would make you think they're going to come out of this. Nothing. Same thing over and over again. Disappointing. And the injuries just keep on piling up for this team. Doesn't help. It hurts your depth. You got to depend on players that you didn't necessarily want to depend on. That's the National Football League. Next man up. Didn't work tonight. Alex says, on to the next game. That's it. That's all you can do. David says we also need to throw some shade at Jason Light. He's the one that signed Hicks, Rudolph, Jones. Let JPP leave. Sue, his last 2 years of drafting kind of stinks. Well, I think there's definitely some fair points to that. I've been a Jason Light fan. I'm still a Jason Light fan. I think he's done a great job of putting this team together the last couple of years for Tom Brady to win you that Super Bowl 2 years ago. But yes, JTS doesn't look great right now. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but not enough consistency. Hansy, everybody else on this team. And then you talk about the free agents. You're not able to stay healthy. Logan Ryan was playing well, but he got hurt. Hakeem Hicks was playing well in his one game, then he got hurt. Julio Jones played well in one game, then he got hurt. Came back tonight, got a late touchdown. Good for him. 2 catches for 21 yards. I guess that's a positive. Now we know why Bruce took over play calls during the game. Well, there you go. There you go. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to David here. Peter, do you think the game might be getting too fast for Brady? I don't know. I think it's more of a confidence issue, honestly. I think it's a mental thing. I think it's a confidence issue. I think you saw it tonight. It's disappointing, but you see it right before halftime. It looks like Chris Godwin is going to be open. You have to wait a split second longer, and instead you decide to eat the sack. Wait a split second longer, and you may have Chris Godwin open. That's just by me looking. Like, I'm not the game. I haven't played the game before, but I'm just thinking out loud at that point. What we've heard is that Tom Brady doesn't necessarily have that confidence anymore. He doesn't have the confidence in the offensive line. He doesn't want to take those unnecessary hits. He is up there in age. But again, if you wait a split second longer, then you have Chris Godwin open. That's the point. I know, I get it, split second, but you may get a big play. So I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't. Let's go out to Javon here. Do you think Arians and Light rushed to make Bowles the head coach? Well, it seemed like BA wanted to leave this team in good hands with Todd Bowles and thought it would be. I mean, that's what we heard. We also heard, as my dog in the background is groaning, because I think he's tired of hearing me yell about the Bucs, but that's okay. Alex, you're going to have to be patient. Or I guess that was a yawn, because he's just tired of the same argument. My God, too funny. Yeah, going back to it. I mean, did he think he left the team in good hands? Yeah, I think he did. Then we also heard again that BA was forced out by Brady. I don't know what the story is. I think a lot of people thought this team would be a lot better than what they are at 3-5, don't you? Let's go out to the phone lines here. Dave, using your second call, welcome to the Evolution. What's on your mind, my friend?
Hey, what's up? I finally left the stadium, but yeah, we were just talking about it in the car, man. It's like a lot of stuff going on. So I think my friend was just mentioning Bowles might be on his way out if he loses another game. He might be getting fired.
Well, you know, a lot of people are saying that. That's not the Glazers' MO. They don't usually do that. They don't fire coaches. I mean, even you think back to Greg Schiano, 0-8, and they didn't fire him. So I would not expect it. I would be completely shocked if a change like that took place. I would.
What about there was rumors that they might try to get Bruce Arians back?
Well, I haven't heard that rumor at all, but he's still in the building. And I'm wondering if they go to him and say, "Look, can you do more than be an advisor?" I don't know how you would. What do you approach this? I mean, because if you go back to BA, and BA is basically your co-head coach or your co-offensive coordinator or something along those lines, and you're Todd Bowles, how are you feeling at that point?
You get rid of Leftwich.
Huh?
You get rid of Leftwich.
Well, I don't know what you do with Leftwich at this point. I mean, you get rid of him? Well, again, we'll have to see what the changes are going to be. But we heard Todd Bowles in the press conference tonight. He said anything is on the table. So
Todd Bowles is too soft.
Todd Bowles is too soft, in your opinion? Why is he too soft?
I've been working at Raymond James over 10 years. That man has no fire up under him.
No fire at all, huh? Not enough fire. That's what you think is affecting this team right now, is not enough fire, not enough urgency, right?
But Brady's got to get his mind back into football. He's got to learn to separate football from family.
Yep, and that's the tough thing about it. We don't know what the impact of that has been to him, but we know the play on the field has definitely slipped, whether it's the offensive line, whether it's the injuries. At the end of the day, he's not playing his best football. He knows it, and he has to play great football in order for this team to do what they want to do. Look back last year, you're scoring 31 points a game. Now you're 16. You scored 22 tonight, but that, again, is not going to get it done for this team going forward.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
He's got top-notch receivers, just like he had in New England, but he can't. This last month, he has not been able to connect without one of them.
Yep. You're right. You're exactly right. Absolutely correct. What else?
I watched him practice. I watched the games when I'm there. He is not connecting.
Well, and that's a problem. And again, my question is, how in the world do you not have that consistency already, or that connection, or that communication? Because you had a lot of miscommunication and breakdowns tonight, mental errors between your quarterback and Mike Evans, or Chris Godwin, or Kyle Rudolph. Those are throws you have to make. You have to make those throws, because if you make those throws, they change the complexion of the game, and you're not able to make them. Why? Why is that still happening? And we're talking about this in week 7.
Here's my thing about all of this. Brady's so used to get his ways with the coaches and the refs, and they have nothing going to him or going for him at all.
Yeah.
I pay attention to all of that.
Pay attention to all of it. All right. Well, thanks a lot for the insight. Appreciate it. Anything else?
That's it, buddy.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Let me go ahead and give you the Ric Flair. Woo! Let me go ahead and fire those cannons. Appreciate the call, guys. Have a good night, all right?
All right, you too.
All right, good stuff there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Ben Cornett from I Love St. Pete. We'll read these comments. Sitton says, we suck. Defense is trash. Ben Cornett, got to wonder if players still believe in Brady, or they may have turned him out or tuned him out. Isn't that certainly possible? And again, you point to it, and I know it's something that we continue to talk about, but the missed time in practice before the season started, it seems like it was big now. It was. You don't have the same offense. You still have communication breakdowns. This offense is not as good as it was last year. Now, you can say the offensive line shuffling definitely played a part of that. Yes. But the timing is not there with your wide receivers. That's a problem. Is there a possibility? Yes, I think there's certainly a possibility that some of these players may have tuned him out. I hope not. The poor defense has been on the field enough. We talked about this with the former defensive tackle of the Bucs last night, and James Canada, and the relationship with when he was playing on Tony Dungy, right? And how the defense carried the day, and then eventually they got tired of the offense not being able to do their job. And what happened? The defense got worn out. You missed out on playoffs, and even if you hit the playoffs, you were out in the first round because you don't have a complete team. And this team is not complete like it was just 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to 3-5. Losing to the Baltimore Ravens. We'll take a look at some more numbers here. Once again, Tom Brady, 26 of 44, 325, 1 touchdown. Again, not his best game. Running game, Leonard Fournette, 9 carries, 24 yards, 2.7 had the early touchdown. Rashard White showed some flashes of brilliance, 4 for 19. More in the passing game than the rushing game, but you ran the ball all total tonight 15 times. It's not going to get it done. It's just not. And the confidence of this running game is not there because the offensive line is not consistent enough, if that makes sense. Evans tonight led the way, 6 catches for 123 yards. Chris Godwin, 6 for 75. Leonard Fournette, 3 for 34. Rashard White, 3 for 24. Julio Jones, 2 for 21, had a touchdown later on in the game. Cade Otton nearly had his first touchdown, 2 for 15. Rashard Perriman, 1 for 11. Defensively, we talked about it, 1 sack tonight by Shaq Barrett. Joe Tryon also had a sack, and Vita Vea. So they had 3 sacks for the night. I thought they got pretty good pressure on Lamar Jackson in the first half. The second half, they got completely manhandled. And that's disappointing. That is absolutely disappointing at this juncture. Let's go out to Nelson. Anyone else ready to see Bucs quarterback that can scramble out of the pocket? Well, it would be nice to get a quarterback that can definitely make plays, especially when your pocket is breaking down. Of course, the Bucs had no problem with this, once again, the last 2 years with Tom Brady. But when you have a faulty offensive line that can't block consistently when it comes to pass protection, and you lose a Rob Gronkowski, which was a major loss. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is a major loss for this team. More than Ali Marpet, more than Alex Kappa, more than Antonio Brown, because I know there's still some AB fans out there. But Gronkowski was the glue for this team. Inline blocker, pass-catching threat. You could use him as another offensive line. He'd help out that left side. We saw him in the Washington game, in that first playoff game. We saw him throughout his career. And we also know that Brady has confidence in him to throw the ball in the red zone. If you're wondering why this team is struggling in the red zone, right there. If you're wondering why this team is struggling when it comes to pass protection, right there. If you're wondering why this team is struggling with trying to run the ball consistently, right there. And people are trying to convince me that Rob Gronkowski wasn't a big loss. Hogwash! What are you talking about? Of course he's a big loss. First ballot Hall of Famer. Tom Brady's go-to guy. Of course he's a loss. And the Bucs are feeling it. 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. We'll go back to the numbers here. With the Bucs, 3 sacks. Of course, they were down in this game. Lots of missed tackles. Even Todd Bowles talked about this during his press conference. If you want to be a top-notch defense, you have to make tackles. If you don't, they kill you on third down. Again, what did they convert? 6 for 13. Not going to get it done. Bucs, on the other hand, 4 for 13. Go out to the Ravens numbers to end the game. Lamar Jackson, 27 for 38, 238, 2 touchdowns. Ravens as an offense, 3 touchdowns the second half. Gus Edwards, 11 for 65. Kenyon Drake, 7 for 62. Lamar Jackson, 9 for 43. Devin Duvernay, 2 for 33. And Justice Hill, 4 for 28. You lose Mark Andrews. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Isaiah Likely, which he's very likely to expose the Bucs defense tonight. 6 for 77, 1 touchdown in the end zone. Perfect footwork. Toe drag swag, as the kids would say. Demarcus Robinson, 6 for 64. Again, Mark Andrews out of this game early, 3 for 33. Duvernay, 4 for 31. Defensively, we talked about it. Justin Houston, 2 sacks in this game, and the Ravens finished with 3. So that's about it at this point. I don't know what else you could say about it. I know there's a lot of Bucs fans that are upset, but it's the same thing over and over again with this team. Can't play 4 quarters, commit penalties. Again, going back to the statistics because the numbers don't lie. 453 for the Ravens total yards, 349 for the Bucs. 222 in passing, 305 with the Bucs. Rushing, pay attention, 231 yards of rushing. And again, I get it. This defense was on the field almost the whole night. But if you're a top-notch defense, you can't allow a team to go for 231 yards. 6 yards per play. What? On the other hand, the Bucs rushed for 44 yards. Not going to get it done. 27 first downs for the Ravens, 6 for 13 on third down. Bucs went for it on fourth down, got it. Third down again, 4 for 13 as they struggled in the red zone tonight. 7 penalties for the Ravens, 4 for the Bucs. I thought they actually had more, but they had some critical ones in the red zone, which really killed them. 1 fumble tonight. Somebody still has to explain to me why D. Delaney, and I get it, he got pushed into Jalen Darden, but how did they have that situation happen? And think about it. Your defense is able to get you off the field. You're getting the pump back, and the guy makes a boneheaded mistake like that. That is not a good team. That is what this team has been doing all year long, shooting themselves in the foot. You know, we used to have a saying being a Bucs fan, right? Some Bucs fans know this saying. It's called self-destruct Bucs. It's exactly what they've been doing lately. Disappointing. Self-destruct Bucs. Mental breakdowns at critical times. Groundhog Day. False starts, motions. That stuff kills you. Especially kills the momentum. When you're going for it on fourth down, guess what? You got to settle for a field goal. By the way, Ryan Suckup, once again, perfect. Problem is, can't win games kicking field goals. You can't. 3 for 3 tonight. A long of 31. Not going to get it done. And again, time of possession. Overwhelmingly bad. Awful. 38 minutes. Defense is gassed. 21 for the Bucs. Not good enough. All right, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 as we have the late edition of the Sports Web. Thanks a lot to the neighbors out there. They don't give a crap of how loud I am. Thank God I'm in holiday. Let's go out to Montreal. We can't catch a break. You can't. Sometimes you can't, right? Montreal, again, we are not disciplined, and it sucks to watch. And Montreal, this team does not play 4 quarters. They do not. So you got a little bye week. No football on Sunday. Thank God. And we'll see what the Bucs do here in the next couple of days, what kind of changes they make. We'll have it all for you here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Definitely tune in on Sunday for the over-under with yours truly, along with Harry the Greek professional handicapper extraordinaire, as he'll try to win you some money. So hopefully you didn't bet on this game tonight, because more than likely you would be broke. All right, with that being said, it is getting late, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. Once again, thanks to all the callers and the text messages. Once again, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to the Baltimore Ravens, 27-22 to go to 3-5. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Like I Love St. Pete, the hub at Amped Up Sports, and do 3 things for me here on this Thursday night, Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday, but of course it's not a victory Friday because the Bucs lose. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And Bucs fans, it's your time. Once again, Bucs fall to 3-5. Have a great night.